What were the Moscow trials and why were they important for Stalin? What were the Moscow trials and why were they important for Joseph Stalin? Let's break this down. The Moscow trials were a series of high-profile court cases that took place in the Soviet Union from 1936 to 1938. These trials targeted key figures in the Communist Party, many of whom had once been close allies of Stalin. They were accused of conspiring against the state and plotting to assassinate Stalin and other leaders. The first trial in 1936 involved 16 defendants, including Gregory Zinoviev and Lev Kamenev. They were accused of leading a conspiracy against the government. Despite the lack of solid evidence, many confessed to crimes they did not commit. This was often done under pressure or torture. The outcome was grim, with many sentenced to death. As the trials continued, more prominent figures were brought to court. The second trial in 1937 saw additional party members and military leaders facing similar charges. The pattern was clear. The trials were not about justice but about consolidating Stalin's power. The trials were part of a larger campaign known as the Great Purge, aimed at eliminating any potential threats to Stalin's rule. So, why were these trials so important for Stalin? First, they helped him eliminate opposition. By publicly accusing former leaders, he removed anyone who could challenge his authority. This created a more controlled environment within the Communist Party. Second, the trials provided a justification for the Great Purge. They allowed Stalin to claim that he was protecting the Soviet Union from traitors. This made it easier for him to carry out widespread purges that affected not just party officials but also military commanders and ordinary citizens. Third, the trials instilled fear across the Soviet Union. The harsh sentences and public nature of the trials discouraged dissent. People were less likely to speak out against Stalin, knowing the potential consequences. Finally, the Moscow trials helped strengthen Stalin's cult of personality. By portraying himself as the defender of the revolution, he solidified his image as the essential leader of the Soviet Union. The trials were a way to rally support and loyalty among the populace. In the context of Stalinism and the theories of communism, the Moscow trials were a harsh but effective method to protect the state from perceived internal threats. They aimed to maintain unity within the Communist Party and eliminate factions seen as counter-revolutionary. While the methods were extreme, they reflected the intense struggle to safeguard the achievements of the revolution during a time of significant challenges. The Moscow trials played a central role in shaping the political climate of Stalinist communism and solidifying Stalin's grip on power.